Chalmers. Kaboom! Bosch. Oh, he had the touch.
Everything is pointing to the Miami Heat as the next champion of this league.
Well, Miami will go to 20-7-7, their best 34-game start in franchise history.
Something just feels different about the Heat when they blow you out as opposed to anybody else. It just feels more painful. It just get up all in you. The Heat have been dominant the last week and a half, last couple of weeks, just really crushing people, playing at a very high level. But it's all about winning a championship for that team. Welcome back, David Aldridge, Steve Ashburner, Steve Smith. Smitty, to start with you. They moved LeBron and Dwayne Wade down into the low post, finally. And LeBron and D. Wade are taking a lot fewer threes this season. It certainly looks like that has paid off big time.
It has, D.A. You know, what really impressed me is defensively for those guys. And what they're starting to remind me of, which is bringing nightmares, D.A., is Pip and Michael Jordan on the wings in Chicago, where they just basically took the 2 and 3 out of it defensively. We all know both those guys can score, but you said it right. The way they're attacking is not those selling for threes right now. Both guys are putting their head down, driving the basketball. And I think the point guard play between Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole, offensively and defensively, is doing a good job.
Chalmers has been shooting lights out so far, really been a great option. But their depth, they've got Mike Miller back now. Finally, they got Udonis Haslem healthy again.
Right.
They actually have some depth now that they didn't have last season.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, you know, that team was assembled on the fly, and they had salary considerations. They had to get rid of parts, bring parts in. You know, when they can put out, you know, the Doberman defense with Battier and Haslem, along with Wade and James, I mean, that's tremendous, and that can shut down a lot of teams. I think that, you know, Cole has been sort of a surprise and a big addition as well. So, you know, there's more depth on that team than a lot of teams that sort of built the traditional way.
Well, who cares what we think? Let's see what Dwayne Wade thinks. What would he give his team grade-wise at the midway point? If you had to grade your team halfway through the season, what would the grade be?
I'd say right now we're playing at a B plus.
Okay.
Right, we want to get to an A plus. So we know that we have another gear to go to. And, you know, right now we're playing good basketball, but we can play even better basketball. And I think it's going to start on the way we defend, obviously, but the way we rebound the ball and the way we take care of the ball. Yeah, everything else will take place.
Very confident team, but they know they have some work to do. Let's go back up to New York. Howard Beck of the New York Times, Kenny Berger of CBSSports.com. Kenny, let's start with you. None of this matters if they don't win a championship this year. Is this team now better equipped, perhaps, to compete and win a championship series against the veteran team?
I think they are, and I think, you know, a couple of things. Number one, going through all the drama that they went through last year, enduring that. You know, all teams that go through this process of trying to build a championship team, it doesn't happen at the snap of a finger. You have to build, you have to fall short, you have to beat teams that have beaten you before, and I think they're experiencing all that. The other key thing for them, to me, offensively, is that although Eric Spoelstra likes to call it just a little tweak, I think it was more significant than that. He really lets LeBron and Wade just get out in the open floor and do what is natural to them, which is just run and push the ball and score fast and do all the things that, you know, they're capable of doing more than anyone else in the league. So when they're out on the break and they're getting points in transition off of their defense, they're extremely difficult to deal with.
Howard, we saw in the All-Star game in Orlando, Dwayne Wade broke Kobe's nose, gave him a concussion on that foul, which really looked like a playoff foul to me. If that was in a game, he would have probably gotten a flagrant one at least. Any chance there was a message being sent there that, you know, we are not the same soft Heat that we were?
It's an interesting thought. I think, wasn't it Kobe who just said that Dwayne Wade's a nicer guy than he is?
Yeah.
So either Kobe has badly misread Dwayne Wade, or that was just kind of one of those incidental things. But yeah, let's face it, it's an all-star game. Usually these guys are just trying to outdo each other for showy dunks and kind of, you know, have fun, go at each other, talk a lot of trash. But the idea of somebody actually getting injured, and not an ankle sprain, not somebody landing badly, but actually getting smacked in the face that hard enough to break a nose, to get a concussion, maybe there's a message there. I don't know. If there is, I'm very intrigued to see what happens this Sunday in L.A.
It should be a good matchup. We'll see what happens there. But as far as the rest of the Eastern Conference is concerned, we know the Heat right now and the Bulls have kind of pulled away from everybody else. But Ash, you see the Bulls all the time. You see a lot of teams in the Midwest. Is there anybody else in the Eastern Conference that you say they definitely have a chance to be a dark horse in this?
Well, I think Indiana would be a tough team for a team to draw in the playoffs. I think that their coach has them playing together. They've got depth at every spot. They've said that the sky's the limit on them. And, they have the experience. It's brief, but they have the experience of the first-round series against Chicago last year. Made some additions. Pretty strong team.
Plus, they seem to get a little chippy when they play the Bulls. They've had a little get-together there the last couple of times.
They call it smash mouth basketball, which seems very odd, I guess, and probably has Stu Jackson's attention. But, good for them.
Smitty, we talked about the Knicks before, and obviously they could be a factor. Is there anybody else in the East that you look at?
I think going under the radar is the Philadelphia 76ers. Doug Collins has done a fabulous job. You start talking about defense, they're only giving up 87 points, and I know Doug is smiling. I think when you look at the Philadelphia 76ers, it's been scoring the basketball. They have some guys on the perimeter, but down low, people are not talking about Spencer Hawes. Is he a big name? No, but you start talking about his numbers. He only played 14 games. Averaging about 10 and 8 rebounds, shooting about 56%. But I'm talking about the 1.5 block shots and the 2.8 assists coming from Spencer Hawes. They can go through him a little bit along with Iguodala and Brand. This is a team Mike can sneak up and maybe possibly beat the Bulls.
Howard, do you have a team in the East that you think, other than Chicago, because we all know the Bulls will be there at the end, is there another team in the East that really could be a sleeper here?
If we're talking sleeper, meaning that a team that's going to knock off the Heat or the Bulls before the conference finals, no. I don't think so. I mean, the things we love about Indiana and Philly are the same things that keep them from being elite teams. They don't have that one true superstar, that guy who carries you through a fourth quarter, that guy who's going to make those shots in the clutch, the guy who can drop 30 on any given night. And we love that they're winning without that, but we all know that it's what you need to get all the way to the conference finals and surely to the finals. So if there's a true dark horse, and they're pretty far down there right now, it may be the Knicks, because they do have Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire, Tyson Chandler. They have a nice lineup. They've still got a ways to go, though, so I don't want to put them in that category just yet.
Kenny, I was just about to ask you, you see the Knicks a lot. Is this a team that if they can get all their pieces together and get healthy, could they put it all together and make a run in the playoffs?
The thing I like about them
they certainly
is that
have
right
the
now,
opportunity right there in front of them. I think it's possible. I agree with Smitty that the Sixers have kind of been overlooked here, and I think they started out so fast, and then the schedule kind of caught up to them, and people have kind of forgotten about them. But the Knicks have the star power. They have an elite scorer. Tyson Chandler has really turned around their defense. They were a team that played no defense. All of a sudden now, and Howard's mentioning defensive efficiency, I'll give you a number. The Knicks are 10th in the league in points per 100 possessions allowed. That is unheard of for a Mike D'Antoni coach team and for the Knicks the last few years. So they're defending, they have changed the culture, and they have, by the way, this guy named Jeremy Lin who's pretty good.
All right, Smitty, 10 seconds left. Game 7, Knicks down 1. Who gets the ball?
Carmelo. You still got to go to Carmelo. Jeremy Lin, you just got to pass it to him. It still comes out of Carmelo.
Just wait on the other side.
He's a closer.
Yeah. I think you're right.